Yep. Hi guys, it's Michelle McCosh and we're live at 5. Turn that off. I can see if anybody jumps in. And I'll put this away. So I had a look at my stats yesterday, and I think I'm like only 3 hours away from reaching the goal. Hi, Aletta, how are you? So that's good. Hey, Mary Beth. Hey, Yvonne. Oh, Seth's got a great release. I was going to show his stamps today. Hey, Jan. I'm very excited about a couple of them. I think they're fantastic. Hey, Vicky. So we'll just wait until it jumps over to my computer, and then I can turn the YouTube off on my phone. But let's show you. So Seth had a release today. Tomorrow's release is Tracy Scott. And Tracy has stamps and stencils. Now apparently there were stencils for yesterday's release, but they were released after I'd done the order and I didn't realize. Hi, Robin. So I have ordered those from Paper Artsy and they should be here probably by Monday. But, okay. Let's see. Hey, Teresa. ESA 49. This is one of Seth's. I love this. I mean, you guys know that I love text anyway. But look at this leaf. It could be a feather. It could be anything, really. I love that. Love the words discover, look within. So some really great elements on that one. ESA 49. If we don't sell, I'll be using. But I can't use it tonight just in case we sell out. But look how pretty that is. ESA 50. Inspire. Love that one. This one says magical thinking. You've kind of got like a bullseye type thing here. Postage marks with scribbles on it. And hi, Paulette. This one is, you know, it's the moon. But I also see if you stamped it and then drew a line here, it could be a fishbowl with something in it. So you could also make it into a flask, and it could be some apothecary poison chemical-y thing, fun thing. You could do this with green and make it like green slime. That's a lot of fun, that one. So that's ESA 50. And then ESA 51, he's got another color chart going on here, which I think is kind of fun with the scratchy parts to it. The word believe, make memories, and we've got some other fun pieces. So this could be a plus sign. It could be a multiplication sign. Hi, Chantel. Hi, Jane. And I see that kind of like a dilapidated shutters on a building. So that one could be kind of fun. So ESA 51, 50, and 49. So let me find somewhere to put them. Right here. Okay. We'll balance them there. Okay, I was going to show you the page that I finished yesterday. So what I did do, I did put it up on social media, but in case you didn't see it afterwards, I just added some text that I had, some Asian text to that. And that was that page complete. So I've got it in my book. There's the phone. But I'm nowhere near it, so I can't answer it. So I know that somebody that was asking me today that they want to do gel plate printing, but they just don't know how to get started. So I thought, well, hey, I haven't done it in a while. Let's show a page. So I cut a page down. This is watercolor paper. This is probably the worst. Oops, sorry. This is probably the worst watercolor paper in the world, and I hate it so much. So I just won't. But if I'm going to collage on the top, I can. People give me samples of things to try all the time. If I don't love the product, I won't carry it. If you ask me to carry something that I don't love, but you do, I'm happy to do that. But I do like to sample different papers before I use them, because, you know, or sell them, because some things I just can't stand, and this is one of those papers. Let's see what I can use brush-wise. Yeah, this one might work. So I'm just going to use matte medium, and I'm going to collage these papers right on top. Just so that I can use the surface and not cringe. Yeah, I have to believe or like a product before I can carry it, because I got to stand behind it. You know, if I recommend something and it's defective, or you hate it, doesn't do what it's supposed to do, then, you know, that's on me, so I can't do that. Okay. Hey, Cece, how are you? It's been a while. Hi, Andrea. Oh, I wanted to show you another page, actually. Well, let me put this down first, and then I'll show you. So I have this great book, and it has all these pages in it. I have no idea what the book is called, because it's got all those Japanese characters on top. But I have a couple of them, and I thought what I would do is, once we're settled, I will make some collage packs. And I'll include some of these papers that I love and have. I have a lot of vintage papers. So I can share them around. Okay, let's put a bit more of this up here. I just have to get rid of that texture on that paper, because I don't like it. So you won't see much of this paper once I've got it down. But okay, that's good. We'll give that a second to dry. I actually have a brush dedicated to glue, but don't know where it is. I also don't know where my paper trimmer is. We'll find it though. Hey Susan, hi Kathy. Hey Marge. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry, and then I don't know, do you guys remember I did this page and I couldn't glue it down because I couldn't find glue. Well, I found glue and I glued it down. So we did the background here, and I put this down. Well, after we had done this page, I suddenly started seeing on Facebook, I told you about these monks that are doing the March for Peace. And I was like, you know, the story of their dog that they found in India, and he has a heart shape on his forehead. I've mentioned him before. But look how well this goes with this, right? This goes with this. This happened to be orange. Total coincidence. I think it goes. the red in their robes, everything goes with those 2 photos. So I'm actually going to write down how I found these guys after I'd done this. I thought that was quite poetic. And I had to print an extra picture out of the dog because I like the dog. He's cute. So, Stephanie, I'm hoping they'll be here Monday. Leandra, when I had ordered, I've had that order from Lynn Perella on my desk since like December 14th. But at the time when I ordered, those stencils weren't available. I hadn't heard about them or I would have got them. So I think Monday they'll be here. So if you want to order the stamps, and you can always order the stencils when they arrive, and I'll ship them all together. And just do local store pickup, and that way you don't pay for shipping. Okay, so I'm going to dry this just a little bit so I can gesso on top. Oh, Stephanie, yeah, sorry, must be a time delay. Yes, absolutely. Order the stamps, and I'll hold it till the stencils get here for sure. I'm doing that for someone else as well. Like, do you know how hard it was to know where that box was for a whole month during a move? But I managed it. And Tracy's release is tomorrow. Also, Dina Wakely's got a release tomorrow, and David has a release tomorrow as well. So it's going to be a jam-packed day on the website. I got a lot of work I got to do tonight for that. Let's just trim up here a little bit. And then hopefully we'll get at least a couple of layers down on the gel plate. Okay. See, now I just hate touching the back of that paper, but I don't mind touching the front. Okay. Let's get a bit of gesso down. I'm going to use that same brush. Now, I don't have to gesso because I'm going to use paper artsy paints, and of course you don't need gesso with them, but I want to make the text kind of fade in and out so that I don't see as much of it. So I'm using the gesso, even though I'm putting paint on top, and that's going to obliterate it too. You know, I don't need an excuse to use gesso. It is my favorite thing. Okay, I'm going to make it just a little thicker around where the paper is joined together, just for fun, because it's my page and I can do whatever I want. I'm going to dry that. So Pat came by today and worked in the front Sizzix area in the store, so that is mostly unpacked. I am looking for a couple of missing dies that I've sold, so hopefully those will be at one of the storage units on Thursday. We'll be able to find that. It's been challenging. Put just a little bit more gesso up here. Something. This page was out of a very old engineering book about water. That's good. Yeah, if we can get the ink and paint room put away, that would be great. All right. Found a gel plate. I found a brayer. So I'm finding more and more things every day. Let's have a look, see what colors. Let's do some green. This one's lawn. I've got cerulean. Space Cadet. Let's try some of those. Start. Let me move my computer back up. And hopefully we can start our online classes back up in February. And our in-person also in February. Just going to do a very thin layer. Sorry, I should flip it every time I do it to show you. So I'm just going to start to build some layers up. Do some more. So I have another shipment of gel plates coming in next week. Sprayers are in stock, and so is, of course, the paint. I'm just very lightly touching the back because I don't want to do big swaths of color. I want to control where it goes. Hey Jackie, good to see you. How have you been? You're getting off work? I know I had somebody in here yesterday and they said, oh, 5 o'clock wasn't good for them for a live. I'm like, but it rhymes. I've done live at 5 for 6, 7 years now. And there is no other time that rhymes. So, I mean, together at 2, but nobody can watch it at 2. So we're keeping it at 5. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah, I thought that was such a coincidence about the monks doing that walk, and we had already done that Buddha page when it was just a cutout that I had from a piece of paper, a scrapbook paper, and it had been ripped somewhere along in time, and let me just add, so I had cut that image out and kept it. I'm going to add a bit of haystack. So again, very thin. And let's see, I might need a bit more. Let's just do a little bit more. 12 degrees, oh my gosh. We still haven't had our hot chocolate here. I went out and bought new hot chocolate. I set up a little area in the back of the store for coffee and stuff. And I even said to Pat today, you let me know the minute you want a hot chocolate. Not a word. So it might be again this year where we don't get to have any hot chocolate either. Okay, I think that's good. Let's start with that. And as you know, I never, ever, ever clean my plates to put them away because it just gives you something the next time. Okay. I'm going to use this flower because I want to show how you can use them as tints. Now, I do have a stamp platform. Let me just drop a few things on the floor first. Let's see if I can Move that here. So my holes are there. This is a Tracy Scott stamp. She has a terrific flower on here, nice and big. Uh-oh. Here it is. So I'm making a bit of an avalanche here on the right-hand side, or the left. Yeah, those colours. You know, a lot of the paper artsy colours just go nicely together. And I did, didn't I? I inked up the wrong side of the stamp. What a twit. And I don't know where my little tool is. I was going to take a few inkings. Let's see if I can find something that's maybe a little juicier ink-wise. That's such a small pad, that one. I don't know if this is any better. I don't think I inked far enough over. I really need my tool because I'm going to try to use my gesso. No, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to get that image off the stamp. I am going to do it with Versamark and some embossing powder. Only because Stephanie's here. But I have black, and there's more than a tiny bit in the container, so. Let's see if that's any better when I do it with embossing powder. If not, it doesn't matter. We can make it work. Let me just put that on the pile. Yep, now this one's got more, Stephanie. You're okay. It's black, not white. There you go. Because I have kind of 3 layers of paper right here, so it can't actually reach. Is this okay? It's very slow to emboss. There you go. One day I'll find my re-inkers too. Re-ink my stamp pads. That was a Sizzix. Well, that Sizzix. It's a stamp and stencil platform, and it has some attachments that are pretty cool to go with it. So I would suggest, if you guys are interested in any of the paper artsy stamps from the new release, I would buy them now, because when I have to reorder, I'm going to try and do all the reordering that I can so that my shipments will get here before February 1st. But February 1st there may be an additional tariff coming out, so the prices will have to go up. So if you wanted to avoid that, for sure get them this week. Because I'll place a reorder on Monday with the... I think it will get here before the 1st, but I just have to be careful, because it doesn't matter if it's shipped ahead of time. It's when it hits customs over here that the tariff hits. I must not have put powder on there. That's okay. So we have, oh, I did a really shitty job here. There you go. I skipped a whole bit. Wasn't very clever. Okay. So let's grab them a tint. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, it's not knocked my brayer down. Let's move those over here. And let's go with some red. Let's just grab a few. And maybe I'll get purple too. So these are the matints, and these, if you don't know, are translucent kind of glaze paints. So I'm going to paint this. We'll start with Ladybug. Just check the time. I got 3 minutes. I'm going to paint pretty fast. No, that's got gesso on it. Stuck my hand in it. So I'm going to build up some layers with this paint because it is transparent. But I'm going to build up some layers so that you can see still the gel plate print underneath, but you'll see the color come through. We'll start with the Ladybug. Put my holes back in the page as well before I get it too dark. Okay, so I'm going to hold up so you can see at least what we've started. So I can still see the gel plate print behind. Ooh, -20, Stephanie. Oh, that's insane. You should come down here. Have a vacation. When I was young, I lived in Canada, so I do remember it being like -40. You weren't supposed to be outside at that temperature. Schools were closed. I guess is the reason I don't live in the north. I mean, I had to roll up my sleeves, but I have a sweater underneath my sweatshirt. I had to roll up sleeves so I didn't get them in the paint, but, and it's probably in the 60s. I'm pathetic. Whereabouts in Florida does he live, Stephanie? Okay, let's put a little bit of high vis in the middle. And then we're going to have to continue tomorrow. Unfortunately, it is 30 minutes. So I got to cut us off and go find out who was calling me. So, but anyway, we started adding the layers. He's in Jacksonville. Okay, it is pretty cool up there. I think it was going to snow up in the Panhandle. But there you go. So we've started layering the tints on top of the gel plate printing. So if you look closely, if I bring it closer, you can still see some of that Japanese text here, some of the writing here. And if you look closely at the flower, you can still see, oops, where's my finger, some of the gel plate printing underneath. So, all right, we'll finish this tomorrow, guys. Have a great night. Stay warm. Yeah, he said it's cold, but Stephanie, did you tell him what real cold is like? So, not pathetic Florida cold. Okay, guys.